Hi, everyone. Welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I am so glad you're here. Today's date is Tuesday, August 2nd, 2022. And tonight we're going to go down a couple of rabbit trails and see where they take us. Okay? It's big news today that Nancy Pelosi, who will heretofore be known in this video as Nasty Pants, NP, Nasty Pants, went to Taiwan today and risked a cataclysmic world event as a result. Now, there's speculation that this was deliberate, that a cataclysm was exactly what certain elements of our world wanted. And I personally speculated, was it simply to take the spotlight off the rather controversial stock dealings that Nasty Pants and her husband have had recently? 1 second, I'll show you where I was reading a little bit about those. In Benzinga.com, they had an article about it. She and her husband sold some stock that was set to really get a bump in price. They sold it before it did because there was public pressure and call-outs by some prominent voices about their stock ownership, about insider trading, and what have you. And I thought, well, what better way to take the spotlight off your insider trading issues by starting conflict number 3. That was my first thought. But I don't know everything, and I am not a 5D chess player at all. I just watch things, and occasionally I wonder if there's a combination going on, a connection we can make. And this is why I say that, because I subscribe, and it's only a recent subscription, so I'll tell you what I subscribe to, but it doesn't mean it's a blanket endorsement. As always, look at it yourself, make up your own mind if you want to subscribe. I've got an email subscription to Clandestine's newsletter, and I will try to put the link for it in the description to this video. I don't know if YouTube will allow it to stay up there. If not, it was at bioclandestine at substock.com, so you might be able to find it yourself. Anyway, if you look at the title here, it's really interesting. Russia supports the PRC and reveals the alliance. Now, please be aware PRC stands for the People's Republic of China, which, just like in our country where we have 2 political parties, 2 main ones, there's the People's Republic of China, and then there's the Chinese Communist Party. So they have more than one party. And over again, the combined alliance of number 45 and Mr. Putin and Z, is that how you say it, for China, show that they're working together. And they're trying to rid the world of the deep state. And it lays it out nicely in this newsletter, so it's a short read. That's why I thought I'd show it to you. Anyway, in the wording from the Russian Foreign Ministry, they made it clear that they were supporting the People's Republic of China. They didn't say China overall. They said the People's Republic of China. It would be like saying that you endorse the DNC as opposed to, we have a lot of people that say they're calling out the Democratic National Party, but not necessarily the United States as a whole. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to read this last paragraph here. It says, in order to clean up something of magnitude that they're referring to that we see in our world today, it takes an alliance between the most powerful militaries in the world. And that's what you're witnessing. Military is the only way. Wasn't referring to just one military. It was referring to the militaries of China, Russia, and the US. This is a joint operation to rid the world of evil. So that took my speculations from, I wonder if she's just trying to take attention away from stock shenanigans to, I wonder if there's more to it. Is this one more step in the path of soft reveals that we're having about the alliance? Who's actually working together? shadow governments, things like that. I thought, let's ask the cards and see. So my question is, was this a selfish venture on the part of the entity playing the part of Nasty Pants? Because I truly believe the original has been dealt with and has been processed at the spa, is at least at the spa, if not processed. So the person being represented in the public eye as Nasty Pants, was she acting on her own? Was this a joint venture? Because if she has been taken to the spa, there's some chatter that she's now doing some work for the White Hats. I'm sure it's begrudging, but let's see what the cards have to say. Was this a solo venture, a joint venture, and what purpose did it have? So that's my question. Solo venture, joint venture, and what purpose? Our first card is the Three of Pentacles. Judgment. If you can hear the chuckle in my voice, I'll explain why I'm already chuckling. Queen of Swords. Ten of Cups. The Hermit, who is shining a light on the Ten of Pentacles. Temperance card. Let's see what those cards have to say. Okay, well, right away, we got an answer to our question with the Three of Pentacles. That is a partnership, solid foundation card. This is a chess move in the big global game that was thought out. The repercussions were mitigated by, if you read alt news sources, by number 45's intervention. So there wasn't the cataclysm that there might have been otherwise. In fact, yes, this is a joint venture that serves several purposes. It allowed recognition and hopefully even just within this video, raising awareness that there is the PRC, the People's Republic of China, and then the Chinese Communist Party, that realizing that there's more than one party, just like we have in our country, and that you can support one without the other. And it doesn't, you don't throw out the baby with the bathwater, just like, you know, the United States is a country with a lot of potential that's still to be realized and a great future, but we have to get past some big things to get there. So the Judgment card, I laugh because I really felt intuitively right away that this was about Nasty Pants, that she didn't have a lot of choice in the matter. She was told to go there. Now, she probably also decided to make it useful for herself. She's pretty self-serving, her energy, anything I ever get to read about her. The Queen of Swords in the recent past shows up about the situation. Now, the Queen of Swords is fair and just. And again, I don't see a selfish person having those qualities. So this is about the alliance saying, yes, you're going to go here, and it's going to serve some purposes. Here's what it's going to do. Okay, we're going to highlight that 46 is ineffective, that your public perception, again, is one of selfishness. And in the meantime, based on the tweets and the press put out by other parties, we're going to show that there's actually a good working relationship happening across some borders on our planet, and that those things equal the alliance. Now, I firmly believe the alliance also includes some off-world energy, and the Hermit card, just like it does for some other tarot readers, shows up for me when there's an involvement there. Just as a basic tarot reading, though, it's always good to see what the Hermit is looking at when he shows up in a reading. And he's showing up here in the clarification card. And the I'm not seeing this as advice because we weren't seeking advice, but we were asking for information from the universe, to what purpose was this? Now, the pentacles are about earthly matters, money, real estate, things like that. So I'm getting that part of this trip, yes, was her personal financial missions, but also it's a benefit to showing, again, with the earthly matters, the real estate, that there's things happening that cross borders, and it's for the good of humanity. The Temperance card is here, and the Temperance card is also good to show up here as far as the future, near future. The outcome that could have been really, really huge with this. There could have been an international incident, and like I said, cataclysmic was the potential. It was mitigated. It was mitigated. Let's look at a couple other cards, see if we get a little more information. The Hanged Man's about looking at things in a new way. So people look at things in a new way. That possible alliance between Mr. T and President Putin and President Z. Look at those. And the Justice card's in play. Yeah. The originals at the spa. The stand-in is dancing to the tune of the White Hats to some extent. And yeah, I think at best she's operating as what we call controlled opposition now. So there's times where she does stuff, but not nearly to the extent that the original would have, or to the depth that the original would have. So way to go, Alliance. Let's put a leash on more people, and let's make that leash public. Let's get our world back in alignment. And the alignment we want is for people to realize they're sovereign beings, that their lives don't have to be those of wage slaves and drudgery. We were built to be joyful, to learn, to grow, to raise our families in safety, and with good food and air and water available to everybody. So let's get that happening. Let's get this world on the path our loving Creator intended, because I firmly believe we're going back on it, and I'd like it to happen way sooner than tomorrow. But for however it takes, it's for the kids, it's for the children. And I'm in it to win it. So I'm in it for as long as it takes. I'd like it to be tomorrow, but I will not get discouraged, and I will not back down, and I will not stop. So take the time you need, Alliance, to do it right. Let's get this done, and let's get our world healed and people back on the path that they should be. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed it and you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I'd love it. And I appreciate your patience as I go down these rabbit trails, and sometimes they lead somewhere and sometimes they don't. So your patience is appreciated, and your time is appreciated, as always. Until next time, I send you my love and I give you my thanks. Good night.